Tonight we have brand new reveals, and it is from the brand new OCG set of Premium Pack 2024. Now this has many cards in this set from Yugi's manga toys and other surprises. But first let's take a look at the alt art, being Sky Striker Ace Rose as a red secret rare. Now this is only exclusive to this set, and we don't know when we're going to get it in the TCG since we're still waiting on Ray. Now in this set there's also a couple other cards that we've already gotten that were revealed. So those are both Pillar of the Future Cyanos and Sky Striker Ace Azalea Temperance. And I already covered these two cards along with the new V-Jump promo in a separate video, which you can find in the info card, or you can find it via the thumbnail of are these actually useful, which they turned out to really be useful. But let's get into the brand new cards and let's see what this set holds for us. For the first of many cards, we're going to be taking a look at the Yugi manga cards, the toys. First off of the list, we have Toy Soldier. It is a light warrior effect monster, level 4 with 1500 attack and 1000 defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can set this card from your hand to your spell and trap card zone as a spell. If this card in the spell and trap card zone is sent to the graveyard, you could special summon it. And if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add one toy box from your deck to your hand, or if you control toy box, you can add one light monster instead. Now, being focused around one certain card seems like it's Konami's new way of doing things, but being able to grab any light level 4 monster is very good. And I really hope Toy Box is also really good, because as if you control it, you just grab anything that you need, which is going to be very useful with Toy Tank or any other light level 4 that you're planning on running with these cards. Now, speaking about Toy Tank, we're going to be moving right on to it. It's actually a really unique card because it is a machine, and it's level 4, 1000 attack and 2100 defense. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. It's the same first and second effect if you could set it from your hand to the spell and trap card zone as a spell, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you could special summon it. But you could tribute this card, special summon one level 6 or lower monster from your hand, but if you control Toy Box, you could special summon from your graveyard instead, except Toy Tank. So being able to summon out whatever from your hand is very useful, or summon out anything that's level 6 or lower from your graveyard is very powerful on this card. But you have to control Toy Box, but that's absolutely fine because I could definitely see this being as a mini engine that you can also, I believe, run with the Diabellstar engine, because I believe that Diabellstar just states you could send one card from your hand or field to the graveyard. So in tandem, these cards really work well with the Diabellstar stuff already. So that has me a little worried of the future of what this engine could do. So now let's finally talk about Toy Box, the main cards that are centered around these cards. We have a continuous spell card, and once per turn you can activate one of these effects. Either you could set to your spell and trap card zone as spells up to 2 monsters from your hand, deck, face-up, monster zone, and or graveyard that have toy in their original name, and an effect that sets themselves in the spell and trap card zone as spell cards. Or you could destroy up to 2 cards in your spell and trap card zone. That is very good. And the second effect, once per turn, if your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send one face down card you control to the graveyard, destroy that opponent's monster. This card is honestly really good, being able to reset your resources, being Soldier and Tank, so you can send them off of whatever you need to, off of costs, or really anything. But honestly, having this as a center focus is very good, and I cannot wait to see if they will expand upon these, because it's a manga style type deck that only had very little in it, but we shall see what they do in the future with the toy series of cards. I think one of the things I really like about the premium packs is that it brings a lot of dreams to life of a lot of people who've been with the game for a long time, watching the anime, manga, But we have Ebon's Son. This is a very, very old card, and it's a continuous spell card. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. When a face-up monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can gain life points to the total original attacks of those monsters. If monsters are special summoned face-up from your graveyard, you can target one of those monsters, increase its attack by 1,000. And the third effect is, when you discard spell or trap cards from your hand to the graveyard, you can target one of those cards and add it to your hand. Honestly, those together are really useful because you could just pitch something for cost or for an effect and just grab it back. This could be very useful later on in certain decks, but honestly, I definitely see it being a fun tech for some people who want to play some manga duels. Next up is one of Jack Atlas's cards, I believe, because it is a red card, being Red Lotus King, Flame Crime. It is a fiend effect, level 3, 1700 attack and 300 defense. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn. First effect is Quick Effect. If you control a fiend, tuner, monster, or your opponent controls a special summoned monster, during the main phase you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you could deal damage to your opponent's life points equal to 400 times the number of fire attribute monsters you control. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a material for a synchro summon, you can send one normal trap card from your deck to the graveyard. So honestly, one of the cards you're going to be sending is Red Rain. So we have a way to finally access it in Red Dragon Archfiend without having to run multiple copies. Overall, it's a very solid card. It's good for realistically Resonator, and it could be possibly used in some form of Volcanic deck if you're running a small Resonator package. So I can see this going far, and it could also be useful if you run it with Tour Guide. So there's a lot of options for just this one card. Next up is for all the goatee enjoyers or anybody who loves fish decks. We have White Circle Reef. It is a normal spell card, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. First effect is you can target one fish monster you control, destroy it, and add one monster with the same name from your deck to your hand. If you control a fish synchro monster at the time of this effect's activation, you can also special summon it from your hand. Or you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target two fish monsters in your graveyard with the same name, return one of them to the bottom of the deck, and special summon the other. So realistically, something for goatee to combo off with. You can also use it with the brand new fish support that we've been getting, like the new White Aura cards. So that is really, really useful. Being able to target a fish, destroy it, and add a monster with the same name is very useful if you need a backup copy of something. Or being able to just pop a goatee just so you can banish it for later. So overall, a very useful and powerful card. And finally, for the last card that was revealed tonight, we have another white card, being White Arboration. It is a continuous trap card, and you can only use each effect of this card once per turn. You can target one fish monster you control. That monster is treated as a tuner this turn. When your opponent declares an attack, you can discard one fish monster from your hand, switch all monsters your opponent controls to defense position. If your fish monster is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can send this face-up card in your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard, special summon one fish monster from your graveyard. Overall, it's an interesting card, and I don't really think it does much. Maybe a one of, that's for sure. But I could definitely see this being a actual next Judge mat, because we have Misjudge on one, and White Arboration could be on a Judge mat just because of the presence of the Judge in the background. But I believe this is to reference stuff like Phoenix Wright, so it's very nice to see. I don't remember what part of the manga this was a part of, but overall, these cards were really interesting to see. I want to know what you guys think about all these cards down in the comments below. But anyways, I've been Bolt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.